A very pleasant and cheerful morning to you all present here. I, Ayushi Thomer, volunteer at National Service Scheme Miranda House, would like to take this opportunity of welcoming you all to the sixth day of the week-long certificate course, Unifying Body and Mind with Yoga, organized by National Service Scheme in collaboration with National Cadet Corps Miranda House. I would like to thank our principal, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Nanda ma'am, NSS Program Officer, Dr. Rekha Kumari ma'am, and NCC Caretaker Officer, Dr. Ashna Kushwaha ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to organize this week-long certificate course. Before we move ahead, I would request Rekha ma'am to speak a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry my camera is not working right now. So welcome all to this sixth day of the course. I'm sure you have already learned a lot, but today's topic is in itself very important. And I welcome the speaker, Ms. Chetna Rai. Thank you so much, Chetna, for giving us time and sparing time for enlightening us about yoga in this session. So without taking much time from you, so please continue, and I again welcome all the participants as well. I'm sure you must be learning a lot and enjoying this course, and hopefully will be more at, in a better position to combat this stress and be more happy, because yoga is not just giving you a chance to physically keep yourself fit, because it is simultaneously helping you spiritually as well as keeps you stress free. So even in this condition, we all know that this is pandemic and we are all under stress for one thing or the other, and therefore it becomes all the more important to get involved in these kind of activities to keep us in a strong position to fight this kind of situation. I'm sure you will be a better person, you will be a better fighter at the end of this course. Thank you so much. And again, welcome, Chetna. Thank you so much. Please continue.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I would invite Archana ma'am to say a few words.
Good morning, everybody. And once again, a very warm welcome to all of you, especially our guest speaker for today, Ms. Chetna Rai. And this is the sixth day of our week-long course on unifying body and mind with yoga. And like the other days, I think today also would be one of those days when, various myths around yoga, which we have, those myths will be debunked. And, we have this tendency to look at yoga in a very restricted way, wherein we feel yoga is related to only about certain exercises, and that only, it's very difficult, or people with a certain kind of a body can only do yoga. I think today's session is devoted to this very aspect of yoga, wherein we look at yoga in a larger context, that it is beyond those few asanas that we do, but it is more related to the overall well-being, the physical, mental, and spiritual well-being of human beings, which is especially required in the current times. Right. And for this, I'm extremely grateful to our speaker, Chetna Rai. Thank you so much for taking out time from your schedule to address this young group of students. Thank you so much once again, and over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Can we start?
Ma'am, let me introduce you.
Sure.
Yeah. So now let me introduce you all to the speaker of the day, Ms. Chetna Rai, ma'am. She is a diabetic educator and nutrigenomics counselor, and she has done her post-graduation in clinical nutrition and dietetics from SNDT University, and her graduation in life sciences from Ramjas College, University of Delhi. She took training to be a yoga teacher with 200 hours of training certified by Yoga Alliance USA, and is a certified yoga teacher from Rishikesh, Yoga Teacher Training Center. She has been working on improving the dietary habits and nutritional intake of her clients and helping them manage diabetes, hypertension, PCOD, thyroid, obesity, malnutrition, cardiac, and psychological diseases. She has worked with Shah Rukh Khan's personal trainer, Prashant Sawant, as the chief clinical and sports dietitian at his personal training fitness studio, Body Sculptor in Mumbai. The theme for today's session is Yoga Beyond Asanas. Now, before we begin our session for today, I would like to inform you that attendance form will be circulated in the chat box during or at the end of the session, and no entry in the meeting after 30 minutes of commencement of the session will be allowed. At the end, there will be a question and answer session. Please drop your questions for the same in the chat box. It will also be appreciated if you switch on your cameras to make this session more interactive. Now, over to you, Chetna ma'am.
Thank you so much. Wish you all a very good morning. And it's a pleasure to be here today in front of all of you. And I feel very honored and glad that NSS, in collaboration with NCC, Miranda House, Delhi University, has invited me to talk about yoga beyond asanas. As Archana ma'am said, it not only covers the physical aspect, but it also covers the mental and spiritual aspects. Okay, so let's start the session by chanting Om, because I want all your attention here in this session so that you have a better clarity about what yoga is. So I want you all to sit comfortably in any seated position and turn on your cameras. Yes, everyone, please turn on your cameras and sit comfortably in any cross-leg position or any seated posture, and make sure that your spine is straight. Roll your shoulders back and relax, chest open. You can place your palms on the knees or thighs and gently close your eyes. Focus on your breath, the inhalation and the exhalation. With every inhalation, the belly goes out, and with every exhalation, belly goes in. Feel that with every inhalation, you're inhaling the positive energies, and with every exhalation, you're exhaling any type of stress and tension in your body. Make sure that you're comfortable and focus on your breath. Concentrate between the center of your eyebrows, the Agya chakra, and breathe normally, gentle breathing in and out. Again, focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale. Now everyone, join your palms to the heart center. Join your palms in the Anjani or Pranam Mudra and feel your breath. Now we'll chant Om 3 times all together. So everyone, inhale. Om. Now stay in this posture for some time and feel the positive vibration of Om in your body. Focus on your breath and be present in this moment. Pray that this session not only give you enough knowledge about what exactly yoga is, but also helps in including and incorporating this practice in your daily life. Pray, and in this prayer position, feel that Your thumb is touching your heart center or pointing towards your heart center, the Anahata chakra. The thumb represents fire element in our body. So feel that you're moving from darkness to enlightenment. Feel that you're moving from ignorance towards the knowledge. And let's start this session by chanting the first phrase of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So everyone repeat after me. Ath yoga anusashanam. One more time. Ath yoga anusashanam. This means now let's begin the journey of yoga. Or it means now the teaching of yoga begins. I'll explain you the detailed meaning of this phrase later in the session. And for now, everyone rub your palms. And place it on your eyes. Feel the warmth and give a gentle massage. And slowly, gently looking down, open your eyes and let's begin this session. So as I mentioned, Ath Yoga Anusashanam is the first phrase of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Here, Ath means now. Okay, so the word Ath or now is considered to be very auspicious. Can anyone tell me in the chat box why now is considered to be very auspicious? You can type in the chat box. Why now is considered very auspicious? Anyone? Now is the voice fine?
Participants can also raise their hands and we can unmute them if you want to speak.
Present is all what we have. Okay, all right. Yeah, you can even raise your hands and then they'll unmute you. Okay, so we are living in now. It's the present. Okay, all right. Because present is all what we have. Present will be the past once. Which one lives in? Okay, all right. Anyone else? So I'll tell you, Ath or now. Now is the time in our hands. Very good. So Atha is considered, because we all have present. See, being mindful is very important. Being in the moment is very, very necessary. Yes. So when you say that you're in the moment, you're not thinking about the past or the future. If you consider this, whenever the main cause of all your sorrows and all your misery and sadness is either we are thinking about the events which have already happened in the past, or we are worried or having anxiety and expectations about what will happen in the future. So if we'll start living in the moment, in the present, half of our worries will go away. So this is the significance of being in the moment or being in the present. That's why Atha or now is considered to be very auspicious. Yes. And this is, I think, the 6th session of your Unifying Mind and Body course with yoga. So by now you must be having a good idea about what exactly yoga is. So I want you all to raise your hands and tell us what do you understand by the term yoga. What do you think yoga is all about? Yoga is to connect. Okay.
Ma'am, yoga is a spiritual practice. It leads to the union of individual consciousness with the universal consciousness.
Very good. Anyone else? Union of body and soul, Medha.
Ma'am, yoga is something that makes us aware.
Okay, very good. Sneha,
Yesterday we had a session on mindfulness where we got to know that mindfulness, meditation, and yoga is being in the present and knowing what is going in the present. We are aware of our thoughts and whatever is going on.
Yeah. Very good. All right. To unite your inner self with the universal power. Rishika is saying something through which we can find peace within ourselves. Yoga is more awareness to ourselves. Yes. Okay. So I think we all have an idea by now that what exactly yoga is. Before I explain you what yoga is, we all will be sitting in front of our screens for another 40 to 50 minutes. So let's do some yoga for our eyes. Let's start with that, and then I'll explain you what yoga is and what aspects it's cover for a human. Not only the physical aspect, but as you already mentioned, the spiritual, emotional, mental, and the other aspects also. So everyone, sit comfortably and open your eyes widely as much as possible. Yes. And then close your eyes tightly. Open your eyes widely as much as possible. And then close your eyes tightly as much as possible. Again, open your eyes and then close your eyes. One more time, open it and then close it tightly. Open and close it gently. Close your eyes, focus on your breath, and then slowly, gently open your eyes. Now we'll blink the eyes quickly for 10 times and then close the eyes and place palms on the eyes, okay? So everyone, start blinking your eyes. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close and place the palms on the eyes. Feel the warmth. Feel the warmth and then slowly, gently open your eyes. Your eyes might become watery, but that's a good sign. All the toxin and dirt is removed from your eyes. And now everyone, look up. Look up. Don't move your neck. Just look up with your eyes. Don't move your head and then look down. Everyone look up. And then look down. One more time, look up and down. And then look up and look down. Look to the center, look in front, and then close your eyes. Rub your palms. Rub your palms and then place your palms on the eyes. Feel the warmth. And then again, slowly, gently open your eyes. And now we'll look from right to the left. So everyone, look to your right, center, left, center, right, center, left, center, right, center, and close your eyes, everyone. Yes. And then gently open your eyes. Let's begin the session. So as everyone mentioned that yoga is about connecting our mind, body, and soul. According to Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, Svatvam Yog Uchyate. Here, Uchyate means is said to be. So Lord Krishna says, yoga is said to be smatvam. Svatvam means a balanced state. So Lord Krishna mentions that yoga is a balanced state. It's a balance of your mind, body, and your soul. Balance in anything and everything you do. Okay? In our body, we have good and bad. We have darkness and enlightenment. We have the solar energy and the lunar energy. But we should know how to keep a balance between both. Okay? And then Maharishi Patanjali, according to him, he says, Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodhan. Here, Nirodhan means removal or inhibition. Removal or inhibition of vritti. Vritti is any type of fluctuations or modifications. Okay, so removal of any type of fluctuations of our chit. Chit is mind. So any sort of fluctuation, if there's any sort of fluctuations in our mind, so removal of that fluctuation is yoga, according to Maharishi Patanjali. Now, in today's life, having a balance is very important. Being mindful and being in the moment is very, very important. And yoga covers the mental, physical, spiritual, and the psychic and emotional aspects of a person. Okay. Yoga comes from a word, Sanskrit word, yuj, which means union or to unite. Here, as you all earlier also mentioned, this union is about the individual consciousness to the universal consciousness, right? So we are working on uniting that. And then the practice of yoga also means having a harmony and having a balance in our mind, body, and soul. All right. So today's session, I want you all to know that it's not just limited to asana practice or the pranayama practice. Whatever you do on a daily basis, if you're doing it mindfully, that's yoga. If you are in the moment and if you're fully focused, even now, when you're listening to this lecture, if all the focus is in the session, you are practicing yoga. So it's not that if you're doing asanas or if you're doing Surya Namaskar, then only you're doing yoga. Right now, what we are doing is also yoga. All right. So in our body, if there's any sort of imbalance, be it physical, if there's any physical imbalance, our organs, muscles, and our nervous system don't work in harmony with each other. And that leads to diseases. For example, you must know about the condition PCOD. In that, there's imbalance in our endocrine system. So insulin resistance increases. Then, which leads to imbalance in our nervous system. We have mood swings because of the hormonal imbalances. And then we have other sort of imbalances. You have digestive issues and all that. You don't get periods regularly. So these all are imbalances. And through yoga, we can create a balance in our body and treat all those things. But you should know the contraindications to each and every pranayam and the asanas and the other practices which we do in yoga. All right. Now, yoga brings a balance between the different bodily functions. Okay. So that helps in having a perfect coordination with all the body systems, and then we consider to be healthy. Okay. So according to Maharishi Patanjali, yoga has 8 limbs, or the Ashtang Yoga. Here, Asht is 8 or 8, and limbs is parts. Okay, Ang is limbs. So let's discuss about the 8 limbs of yoga one by one. And they are Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and Samadhi. So what is the first limb of yoga? It's Yama. Now, Yam is the attitude towards the environment. What attitude we have towards the environment. This defines us a lot. And this is the first limb of yoga. Now, your attitude towards the environment is not only the attitude towards the nature, it also covers your attitude towards other human beings and other non-living things as well. Now, there are 5 yams. They are Satya, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, and Aparigraha. So ahimsa is non-violence. Being non-violent is also yoga. Satya is being truthful, not only to yourself, but to the environment and to others as well. Then there's asteya, which means honesty or non-stealing. Okay, brahmacharya is continence, and aparigraha is non-covetousness or not being greedy for what someone else has. Okay, so practicing all these yams is very, very important in your daily life. You should be truthful to others. You should not do any kind of violence. Of course, if someone is hitting you, then you should be having a balance how to tackle the situation. All right. Then you should be honest towards your surroundings and towards others. And you should, it's also called non-stealing. All right. And then aparigraha is not being greedy. So you should not be greedy in any way. Then the second limb of yoga is niyama. All right. So niyama is the attitude towards ourself. Because if we have a good attitude towards ourselves, then only we'll be having a good attitude towards others. And if we have a good attitude towards ourselves, we'll be taking care of ourselves, we'll be taking care of our body, eating healthy, eating mindful, involving ourselves in any sort of physical activity. All right. So second limb of yoga, niyama, is the personal ethics which we have. All right. So personal ethics is our attitude towards ourselves. Now again, there are 5 niyamas. These are Soch, Santosh, Tapas, Swadhyay, and Ishwar Pranidhan. Now, what are these niyamas? Soch is purity. Purity not only from the outside or not being pure from the environment outside our surroundings, but purity from within. You should be having a pure soul. Santosha is contentment. So you should be contented, you should be happy and grateful, thankful for what you have. Okay, so that is Santosh. Because the desires causes misery. Okay, so whatever you have, you should be happy with that. You should have perfect contentment in that. Then there is tapas, that is the spiritual austerity. Okay, so in this generation, no one is saying you to go in the Himalayas and do the tap. You can be in the moment and still do the spiritual austerity. All right. And then there is swadhyay, which means self-study. Okay. So to know about yourself, to know about your body, to self-study is also yoga. Then the 5th niyama is Ishwar Pranidhan. This means surrender to the divine power or to surrender to the God. That's the Ishwar Pranidhan, the last niyama. The 3rd limb of yoga is asana, which we think that yoga is all about asanas, but that's not the case. As you understood that your attitude towards others, your attitude towards yourself is also yoga. But why asana practice is given so much importance in yoga? So do you have any idea why asana practice is considered to be the most important part of yoga nowadays? And let me tell you that yoga is not an exercise, okay? It's a state of balance. Whatever asanas, yes,
Ma'am, ma'am, I think when we are fit internally as well as physically, only then we can अगर हम अंदर से या बाहर से खुद से fit है, अपने आप से दिमाग भी fit है और body भी fit है, then only we can be kind to others and merciful and everything also. That's why.
anyone else? Very good, Pratibha. Anyone else? Very rightly said by Pratibha that if we are mentally fit, if we are physically fit, then only we'll be able to be good to others and good to ourselves. Okay, all right. So asanas are the postures which we practice. Maybe because healthy mind exists in healthy body and healthy body can be assured by asanas. Very good. This is by Sunidhi. See, in yogic terms, our body is considered to be our temple, all right? And in the spiritual growth, it's very important that we take care of our body because it's considered to be a temple, all right? So, as we take care of the temple, as we take care of the place which we worship, we should worship our body also. So, through the asana practice, it activates psychological system, all right? So through the practice of asanas, we are able to do some stretching or strengthening or all those things, all right? So that again helps in disease management and then increasing our focus and concentration and all those things. So that's why, as in yogic view, our body is our temple. That's why asana practice is very much important. But you should understand that you should be focusing on the other 8 limbs of yoga as well, the yama, niyama, pranayam, pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, samadhi. I'll explain you about dhyan and dharana later. Now, what asana you should be practicing and what you should not be practicing is also very important, because with every asana we have various benefits, but we have various contraindications also. Okay, so suppose if anyone is having thyroid or PCOD or hypertension, or if any cardiovascular diseases, so you need to know that what asana you need to practice and what not. And of course, as a layman, you cannot know about all the asanas and all the pranayam and for every medical condition. So you should be practicing the asana practice under proper guidance, under the guidance of someone, not by watching some YouTube video, or like you're doing general fitness, general asanas you can do. But if you have any medical condition, you have arthritis, or if you have high blood pressure or diabetes, then you should be practicing it under the guidance of someone so that you get the maximum benefit out of it. For example, if you have high blood pressure, or if you have any sort of heart disease or cardiovascular disease, you should be focusing more on the chest opening asanas, all right? If you have PCOD for that matter, you should be eating right, you should be working on your overall health, because it's again a hormonal imbalance. So you need to focus on your overall health. You should be eating healthy, indulging in any sort of physical activity. You should be taking care of your water intake. But then what asanas you need to practice? You need to practice the hip opening asanas, like the malasana or the frog pose. So you should know what to practice, when to practice, how much to practice. You should respect your body. If in your class someone is doing a headstand or a handstand, you should not go for it directly. You should first build your strength, stamina, and you should know the contraindications, and then you should go for that. Then again, as I was telling you, suppose someone has thyroid. So they should be doing all the asanas which are good for your throat, which give a gentle massage to your thyroid gland, like the halasana or the bridge pose, setubandhasana, or the camel pose. or the shoulder stand or Sarvangasana. So all these asana will give a gentle massage to your throat and will help in releasing the perfect amount of thyroid. Okay. Then again, you should be knowing what is thyroid, what is hyperthyroidism, what is hyperthyroidism, and again practicing under the guidance of someone. Okay. According to Maharishi Patanjali, it should be sthiram sukham asanam, which means stable, comfortable posture. All right. So whenever you are doing any asana practice, you should not be comfortable. Your body should feel that you're healing. You should not get any type of injury. All right. It should be stable and it should be comfortable. Otherwise, you'll get the adverse effects. So we don't have to do that. We have to get the maximum benefit out of that asana. Then comes the fourth limb of yoga, that is pranayama. Now, can anyone in the chat box explain what is pranayama? What is pranayama? I think you have attended a meditation session also. You can raise hands.
Ma'am, pranayam refers to regulation of breath. It's the basic movement that involves inhalation, retention of breath, and exhalation practice. It purifies and removes the distractions from the mind, making it easier to concentrate and meditate.
Very good. Vaishnavi. Someone is saying it's breathing exercise. Concentration on breathing process. Pranayama is breath regulation, regulating exercise. Okay. Pratibha is raising hand. Can you unmute her? Pran ka ayam. Very good, Shraddha. So see, pranayam, first of all, pranayam is not exercise. Pran is the living force or the driving energy, the living energy which we have, the pranic energy which we have in our body. If we don't have the pranic energy, we are dead. So pranayam is the expansion of the pran or expansion of the breath. This is not any sort of exercise. It's giving direction to your breath or giving direction to your pranic energy. All right. So again, you should be doing pranayam in the guidance of someone. Again, pranayam covers, as someone said, it's about inhalation and retention and exhalation. Very good. So you should focus that your inhalation and exhalation is proper and is equal. Again, now in our body, as I mentioned, we have solar and lunar energy. So the right nostril is the solar energy. Yes, and sorry. The right nostril is the solar energy and the left nostril is the lunar energy or the Ida and Pingla. Now, we should be focusing, we should be having a balance between the solar and the lunar energy which we have. Okay, so that's why when we are doing pranayam, we are inhaling from the nostrils and then we are focusing on the exhalation and inhalation from which side of the nostril we are doing, even that we are considering. Taking breathing during abdominal, chest, shoulder, that is the yogic breathing. When you are breathing from your abdomen, belly breathing, chest breathing, and the clavicular, the shoulder breathing. So that is the yogic breathing when you're doing all the three breaths all together. So in the belly breathing, as you have seen a baby, when a baby is born, when he's sleeping, he's breathing, the belly goes in and belly goes out. So that's the abdominal breathing in which the lungs are taking oxygen to the maximum level. Okay. And then when you, as you grow up, you reduce the amount of air which you take in Because have you seen a dog when a dog is breathing? The breath is very fast. So you must have seen the tongue is out and the breath is very, very fast. So these are the pran. If you'll breathe fast, if you'll be hyperactive, if you'll be hypertensive, if you'll breathe fast, if you'll do the inhalation and exhalation very fast, then you'll have a shorter lifespan, as dogs have a shorter lifespan than human beings. So you should be breathing properly, slowly, gently, with the proper inhalation, proper retention, proper exhalation. That's why pranayama is also very, very important part, very, very important limb of yoga. Now, in pranayam also, we have various pranayams. You must have heard about Anulom Vilom, Nadi Shodhan, Ujjayi breathing, and then you have Bhastrika, and then you have Shitali, Shitkari pranayam, and all those things. But you should be knowing about the contraindications and the benefit again. Because, see, Anulom Vilom or Nadi Shodhan, in which it's the alternate nostril breathing, all right? So it calms your body, it gives a balance between your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system and all those things. It helps you in increasing the concentration, all right? And then it reduces the anxiety and depression as well. So we think that Anulom Vilom or Nari Shodhan is safe for each and every one, all right? But the thing is, if you have any nasal blockages, or if you have cold and cough, or if you have fever, you should not be doing the Nari Shodhan or the alternate nostril breathing. You should be avoiding it. That's why doing it under the guidance of someone is really very important, because there's contraindication to each and every pranayam and asana. All right. Then there's Ujjayi pranayam, in which there's soft, gentle snoring sound with the throat. Now, this pranayam is very important in giving a throat massage to yourself. Again, by this pranayam, you can help a lot the thyroid patients, all right? But again, who should not be doing is, if, see, this pranayam is very calming as well as generates a heat energy in your body, all right? So if your throat is not well, if you have tonsillitis, or if you have cough, so you should not be doing the Ujjayi pranayam, all right? So these help a lot, but then you should know the accurate time and when you should be doing it, when you should not be doing it, and who should be doing it and who should be avoiding it. All right. Then there's Bhastrika, in which you have very fast inhalation and exhalation. So this balances our Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. Again, it removes any sort of pranic blockages in our body. So we feel very energetic after doing Bhastrika. I know everyone knows about Bhastrika. It's this one, fast inhalation and exhalation. So everyone thinks that it's very healthy because it's all over the internet and everyone is doing it. Even Kapal Bhati, the Shat Karma, everyone is doing that. But you should know that anyone having cardiac problems or anyone having any sort of heart disease should be completely avoiding Bhastrika, as it will again increase their heart rate. Anyone, if you're having any sort of weakness, then also you should be avoiding it, because this needs a lot of energy to do. If you're on your periods, then also you should be avoiding it. I've seen many videos saying that Bhastrika or Kapar Bhati helps in uh, toning your abs and toning your abdominal areas. So it's sort of an ab workout. But again, you should know that if you're on your menses, you should avoid Bhastrika, all right? And then if you have vertigo or epilepsy, again, you should not be doing the Bhastrika pranayam. Then we have Shitali and Shitkari pranayam, the one in which you roll your tongue out and then inhale from your mouth and exhale from your nose. And the Shitkari is when you join your teeth and then tongue is rolled up and touching to the upper palate, and then you're inhaling and then exhaling from the nose. So these are the very calming pranayams. So if you have anxiety, if you have hypertension, if you have any sort of depression or anxiety, you should be doing it. But the amount should be moderate. Because if anyone is already feeling low, you should not be giving them more calming pranayams. All right. And if someone is having cold, then also you should be avoiding that pranayam because that might again increase the cold. All right. And then there is the fourth limb. Oh, sorry. This we were talking about pranayam, the fourth limb of the yoga. So I think you should be having a better idea that all the pranayams are not for everyone. You should do it under the guidance. Okay. Then the fifth one, the fifth limb or fifth part of yoga is Pratyahara. Now, what is Pratyahar? Anyone has any idea what is Pratyahar? Yes, Vaishnavi. What is Pratyahar? Can you unmute her, please?
Ma'am, it involves the withdrawal of the senses that occur during meditation or breathing exercises or the practice of yoga postures, anytime when you are directing your attention inwards.
Anyone else? So as Vaishnavi said, it's the withdrawal of senses from the outside world or the distraction when you're, but it's not just restricted to the time when you're doing meditation or you're doing pranayam or you're doing the dhyan or dharana. It's about the overall day. See, yoga is not something which you practice for an hour for your on your mat. The overall activities, all the activities which you're doing in the day, or even when you're sleeping, if mindfully, that's yoga. So similarly, pratyahar is not just restricted to the time when you're doing meditation or any sort of breathing or you're focusing on your breath. Throughout the day, the sense of withdrawal from the outside world is pratyahar. This will help you in the inner awareness. Concentration in the yoga room is a battle. We'll discuss this in the Q&A session. So see, distraction from the outside world throughout the day, like sense withdrawal from the outside world is pratyahar, and it should not be restricted to just the meditation practice. For example, see, if you know that any sort of your behavior or any habit or craving which you have, and it's not healthy for you, so when you're not following that, when you're working on your cravings, when you're working on your distractions, that's also pratyahar, not just during the meditation, but throughout the day. All right. So when you do the pratyahar, when you do the sense withdrawal from the outside world, you have a better observation of yourself from within. You become aware of yourself. You become aware of the triggers. You become aware of the cravings which you have. You become aware of all the habits that are detrimental for your health and which are likely to interfere with your spiritual, physical, or emotional growth. So that is pratyahar, all right? So it's not just restricted to the pranayam practice or the meditation practice. It's generally withdrawal of sense from the outside world. Then there is dharana. Now, a lot of you must be having confusion between what is dharana and what is dhyan. So do you have any idea what is the difference between dharana and dhyana? You can unmute yourself, and Vaishnavi is again raising hand. Can you please unmute her?
Ma'am, dharana, it involves the teaching the mind to focus on one point or image. Like Ma'am Patanjali says, concentration is binding thought in one place. The goal is to still the mind gently, pushing away superfluous thoughts by fixing your mind on some object such as a candle flame or a mantra. And Ma'am, dhyan involves uninterrupted meditation. The goal of meditation is heightened awareness and oneness with the universe. Uh, The calm achieved in meditation spills over in all aspects of our life during a hectic day work or any other thing, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So dharana is the concentration when you close your eyes, or if you're concentrating on any object, or even if your eyes are closed, you're concentrated on a particular word, or you're concentrating on a song, or you're concentrating on a jap or mantra. So that is dharana. It's being aware and concentrating on a particular thing, and you become self-observant. Okay, you're looking within. You're trying to understand with yourself. That is dharana. It's the concentration. Okay, and you're again you are distracting from you are not distracted by the outside world, so you're concentrated. This is, you can say, this is the initial state of dharana, dhyana, because again, as she mentioned, dharana is the uninterrupted flow of concentration. So when you're concentrated, when you are sitting in a any comfortable posture, your spine is straight, you can even do meditation or dharana and dhyana by walking, or even if you're doing any physical activity, if you're doing it mindfully, if you are doing it with full focus and concentration, if you are fully concentrated, that's dharana. And when there is uninterrupted flow of dharana, uninterrupted flow of concentration, that becomes meditation. All right. So uninterrupted flow of concentration, or the dharana, is called the dhyana. All right. And then these were the two, sixth and seventh lymph of yoga, the dharana and dhyana. All right. Now again, you have confusions with how to meditate, when to meditate, what if I'm having thoughts when we are meditating. So you don't really need to control your thoughts. You just have to, don't let them control you. All right. So you should be focusing on any particular thing, or a word, or a mantra, or any object, or any image, or a picture, but it should be something positive. If you're repeating a word peace, or if you're repeating a japa, it should be positive. You should not be focusing or concentrating on anything negative. Otherwise, you'll have more negative thoughts. All right. And the last lymph of yoga is the samadhi. It's the state of ecstasy, it's the ultimate bliss. It's the state in which you realize the profound connection with God. All right. So these were the 8 limbs, or the ashtang of yoga. All right. I hope now you have a better idea about what yoga is. It's not just about asana or pranayam. It's the attitude of yours toward yourself, towards others, your pratyahar, the sense withdrawal from the outside world, concentration. All these things are yoga. All right. And most importantly, being mindful and being in the moment is yoga. And having a balance in your life, having a balance in your thoughts, having balance in your mind, body, and soul is yoga. When yoga has very important role to play in today's life, it relaxes our mind, body, and soul. You feel very energetic and very healthy when you're practicing yoga. And by yoga, I don't mean the asanas, all the 8 limbs, all right? And then you feel a balance, and you feel that your all the bodily systems, your digestive system, your cardiovascular system, respiratory system, nervous system, the endocrine system, all the systems are working in a balance. Let me tell you, there was a study done in 2003 on few yogis, and it was observed that the cortisol levels, the stress levels, were low in the yogis. So it helps a lot in dealing with the anxiety and depression, all those things. Even a better quality sleep you can get if you have a calm body and mind, if you are not feeling any sort of pain in your body, which we can easily do with the general practice of yoga. And again, I'm telling you, by the practice of yoga, I don't mean just the asana or the pranayam. It includes the pratyahar, dhyan, dharana, yam, and niyamas as well. And the last thing which I want to say and conclude is that yoga can be done by anyone and everyone, be it a small child or it's a 70, 80 or 90 years old. Anyone can do yoga. Even if you are flexible or you're not flexible, you're young, you're old, your fat percentage is high, or if you're skinny, or if you have high muscle mass or low muscle mass, it's good for each and every one of you. Even anyone with arthritis or back pain or heart diseases, anyone can and everyone can do yoga. So that's about it. And also being mindful, eating on time, eating healthy, having a good lifestyle, all those things are also yoga. So I think we can start the question answers. And I hope you got a better idea about what yoga is.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. Everyone, you can put your questions in the chat box. Please ask one by one, or you can raise your hands. We can unmute you
You
also.
can even ask your diet related queries because that's also covered.
I think there is a question, Rakshita.
Is it good? You should.
Yes, ma'am. We have a question that is it true that we should not practice asanas during periods?
See, again, it's always individualized. If you are having a lot of pain, then you can avoid. But if you're doing it under the guidance of someone, then they can guide you better that what asanas to do and what not to do. Okay. And it can help a lot in reducing the cramps which you get in your periods, your abdominal pain, your leg pain. So we can cover all those things, we can work on all those things, and we can reduce the stress levels and the backache and the abdominal pain through particular asanas. All right. So it's nothing that we cannot practice yoga. In fact, the anulom vilom and all those pranayams will help in having a balance, and you'll feel calmer and you'll not feel the pain which you do.
Ma'am, we have a question from Vaishnavi. She's asking ma'am how to stay away from distraction.
How to stay away from
Distraction.
distraction. So, see, if you'll be focused, if you'll be in the moment, half of the battle is done there only. So, and also, if she's asking it during the meditation or pranayam pratyahara, then see, getting distracted is very normal because our mind is continuously working. It's thinking. Even if when you're sleeping, your mind is working, your mind is at rest, but then again you have thoughts, you're dreaming. All right. So if she's talking about the distraction during the meditation practice or the dhyana practice, it's normal for the thoughts to come, but you should not let them control you. Let them come and let them pass. Don't try to control the thoughts. And that's the very good sign. If you're getting distracted, that means your mind is very active. All right. So that's a good sign. But you should be avoiding the outside distractions. You suppose if you're meditating and suddenly the light goes, electricity goes, and then the AC is not working. So if you're feeling very sweaty and all those things, so you should not be distracted by those external factors. Or if a bee is disturbing you, or so that then you should not be getting distracted by those things. As I mentioned, the asanas, when you're sitting in a meditation posture, it should be sthiram and sukham, comfortable and stable. So you should not be easily distracted by the outside world, or if you are meditating and then someone is cooking something very yummy at your home, and you should not be distracted by the smell of that. So that's the main thing, that you should not be if thoughts are distracting you, that's very normal. That's a good sign, because that's the initial part of meditation. That means that you're focusing on your thoughts, you're reflecting within. So I hope that's clear, Vaishnavi.
Ma'am, this is my personal question that it often happens with me that I feel that I am suffering from breathlessness. It happens like once or twice in a month, and without any physical aid, or I'm not able to discover that what thoughts are creating this problem for me. So, is there any specific asana or anything for that?
You can definitely try Anulom Vilom, and you can even do Brahmari because that is also very calming. And if it's not related to any physical issues, I think you can consult a doctor. If it's related to lungs or the respiratory system, then you should, of course, go for the pranayam practice. All right. And then if you think that it's due to any kind of stress or anxiety, then you should definitely do meditation. You should reflect within and you should find the trigger. All right. So, whenever you are getting any sort of breathlessness or you're feeling the anxiety, you should find the trigger and then you should look for a solution. And even if, suppose there's no solution, because everything has a solution, because but if you are not able to control it, then let it be. Yeah, so you should not be, don't let these things affect your psychological and spiritual health, all right? And even you can do journaling. You can note it down whenever you feel the anxiety or whenever you feel the breathlessness. You can just take a notebook, pen or pencil, and then you can just note it down, whatever is bothering you. So that will also help a lot.
Okay, ma'am. We have a question from Ambuj. Ma'am, you have mentioned about different types of breathing. So, what kind of breathing is beneficial for us?
So I think that she's asking about the yogic breathing and not the pranayam, the ujjayi and anulom vilom. I hope. So see, normally what we are meant to be doing is the yogic breathing. All right. So when you're breathing from your belly, when you're inhaling and your belly goes out, your diaphragm goes in, your diaphragm goes down, and your belly goes out. That means that your lungs are expanding to the maximum capacity. है ना? So when you are doing the abdominal or the belly breathing, your lungs are expanding to its maximum capacity. But then the upper part of the lungs, the middle portion of the lungs, should also be expanded to the maximum capacity. For that matter, you should be also doing the chest or the thoracic breathing. All right. And then again, the clavicular breathing so that our lungs expand in all the directions. And also observe that even your back portion, if even your back of the lungs are also breathing. So not only just belly in and belly out, but feel that the back of the ribs, they are also expanding. So you should be breathing in all the directions. So when I say belly breathing or thoracic breathing or the shoulder or clavicular breathing, so you should not be focusing on any one of these breathing. All right. To have a better understanding, you can try breathe and then shoulders up or chest open, belly. But then you should be doing all the three breathings all together. But right now, you might feel that it's difficult. So start with belly breathing. And then whenever you are free, just focus on your breath, focus on your belly, focus on. And nowadays, people often have the opposite. When they are inhaling, their belly is going in. So we have forgotten about the basic thing of life, that's breath. So you should consider this thing very important, and you should make sure that when you're inhaling, your belly goes out. So you should be breathing a yogic breath, not just the belly or the thoracic or the clavicular, but all the breaths together.
Ma'am, we have a question from Jyoti. Doing Anulom Vilom puts a lot of pressure on my nose and chest, and I'm unable to practice it. How can I improve this?
So see, today, like when I say alternate nostril breathing, what people do is they sit, they don't make sure that their spine is straight. And then when they make the Vishnu Mudra, your first two fingers, your index finger and your middle finger should be rolled. And you should close the right, always start with the closing the right nostril, because then you will be inhaling from the left nostril first. And as I mentioned, left nostril is the moon energy or the lunar energy, all right? So it makes you very calm. So start from the calm side, start from the lunar on the moon side, and then the right side. That's the first point. And then make sure when you're inhaling, see, people do this. You don't have to like close, or you don't have to force your nostril, or you don't have to put a lot of pressure. Just gently close the right nostril. Don't do this. People do this and not the gentle close, right? So gently just close, don't put any kind of pressure. Make sure that you're sitting straight and don't force the breath. ऐसे नहीं करना है. Because many of the yoga teachers, when they're teaching, even when I started the class, I said inhale and om. So I was like, inhale. So I took the inhalation deeper so that you hear the sound. But you don't have to force your breath. All right. So just close your right nostril and then inhale from the left nostril gently. And then don't put a lot of pressure on the nostrils. And gentle inhalation from the left, then close it, hold it, and then exhale from the right. And then again inhale from the right, close, and exhale from the left. So make sure that you're sitting comfortably, make sure that your spine is straight, make sure that you are not forcing your breath, and you're doing gentle breathing in and breathing out. So I hope Jyoti's question is answered. And let me know if you feel, because Anulom Vilom should be very calming. So you should not feel any pressure on the nose or even the chest. All right.
Shatakshi is asking, ma'am, my body starts shivering also after doing chakrasana and all the asanas which require flexibility. How can I get rid of this?
Can you repeat the question?
Ma'am, she's asking, my body starts shivering when I do chakrasana or the asanas which require back flexibility. How can I get rid of this?
So see, whenever she's doing any back bending asanas, there's a rush of blood rush to our head. All right. So first thing is, whenever you're doing any back bending asana, after completing the asana, don't just come out of the asana immediately and then stand up. That's the first mistake which people do. You should go in child's pose and relax for some time. Let the blood flow be normal, not too much to your head, but then take some rest, sit in child's pose, and then go for the second asana. And if still you don't feel comfortable, then rest for some more time before going to any other asana. Because as I mentioned, asana should be sthiram sukham. It should be stable and comfortable. And you should not feel any sort of discomfort after doing the asana. Of course, no pain, no gain. So if you are doing a high intensity of yoga, if you're doing Ashtanga yoga, or if your flow is very fast, if your goal is increasing the flexibilities or working on your muscle mass, which you can eventually get results by yoga if you are consistent with the yoga practice. All right. So make sure that you are taking complete rest, and make sure if you are doing a high intensity Ashtanga, of course, there will be some sorts of muscle soreness in your body. That's completely normal. But then if you are feeling the shivering sensation or the fainting sensation, you should make sure that you take complete rest. And also I want to ask if she has migraine or any sort of vertigo or any medical condition like that, then she should be avoiding all the asanas which give a rush to her blood rush to her brain a lot. She should be doing it in moderation to get the maximum benefit.
Ma'am, Vaishnavi wants you to discuss about the concentration in the yoga room is a battle with distracting senses. She wants you to discuss on this.
Concentration in the yoga room is the battle with the distract. See, as I said, if again, so she's asking about the external environment, right? So what she can do is make sure that the room in which she's doing the meditation, that's comfortable, the temperature is good, She can even put on some music or some soft mantras or any song which she like, so that she can focus on that. She can also put a infusion candle or some fragrance stick or something, so that she can increase her focus. All right, she should feel good. She should be feeling positive in the room, and then only she'll be able to fight the battle with the distractions in the room. And if she's talking about the distractions from within, so as I mentioned, that's very normal. That's the first stage of meditation if you're getting thoughts, because our brain is meant for that. So if thoughts are coming, let it be. Let the thoughts come and go. Don't let the thoughts control you at that time. And in the room, she can make sure that the environment is fine, the temperature is good, it's smelling good, it's comfortable. And also, if she's feeling very discomfort in sitting, then she can even sit on a chair and do the asana. Or she can make sure that whatever asana she's sitting in, whether it's cross-legged position, Sukhasana, or the Siddhyoni Asana or Vajrasana, make sure that her spine is straight. And then if she has any sort of back pain or any sort of distraction, she should avoid. So that she can do by sitting in a comfortable position and making the environment of the room good. So I hope her question is answered.
Yes, ma'am. We have a last question from Siddhi. What asanas or pranayams are good for reducing headaches?
Reducing headaches.
Headaches, yes, ma'am.
So see, one. Yeah. So if she's having frequent headaches, first of all, I would say that make sure that your dietary intake is good enough. Make sure that you're having all the vegetables, all the fruits. All right. If she's having frequent headaches, make sure that does not happen. Make sure that she is not having any nutritional deficiency. And then asanas and pranayam, she can of course do the anulom vilom. She can do brahmari. So that will help, as it reduces the stress and anxiety and it calms you down. So she can do that. So that will help a lot. And then on the days when she's feeling fine, she can do the balancing asanas, as simple as the tree pose or normal balancing asanas, even warrior sequences she can do. So that will help in increasing the focus and even reducing the stress. And she can do normal meditation and breathing in and breathing out and alternate nostril breathing, and Brahmari will help her a lot.
With this, we have come to the end of this Q&A session. It's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion today. I, Rakshita Singh, on behalf of National Service Team and National Cadet Corps Miranda House, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our honorable speaker, Chetna ma'am, for taking out time from her work commitments and gracing our event and sharing with her opinions today. A big thank you for your efforts, ma'am. Yoga is a light which once lit will never dim. The better your practice, the brighter your flame. We are all inspired by your words, ma'am. I also extend our thanks to our respected principal, ma'am, for giving us this opportunity to organize this week-long certificate course. I would like to thank our program officer of National Service Scheme, Rekha Kumari, ma'am, and caretaker officer of National Cadet Corps, Arshana Kushwaha, ma'am, for the perfect logistics support and guidance they have extended to all of us throughout. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our audience for attending the event so patiently. We hope you enjoyed the session. Thank you so very much, ma'am. See you all tomorrow for the last day of the week-long certificate course with the same enthusiasm.
If you have any more queries, I tried to answer as many of them. But if you have any queries related to yoga, or if you want to start your practice, even asana or meditation, you can contact me. I'll leave my number. And you can even send me a message or DM me on Instagram if you have any diet related queries. So you can let me know. Thank you. And thanks for attending the session.
Thank you so much, ma'am. All the participants, make sure you have filled the attendance form. The link is provided in the chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you.